No, I don't know what I expected.
Jurassic World Dominion is directed and co-written by Colin Trevorrow and stars too many people. And here, where usually I would go into the story of the film I'm reviewing, there isn't really a story to speak of. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right into the review. I was confounded by this movie. It is as laughably hypocritical to the central themes of the original film as it is aggressively disinteresting. This movie dares you to like it. It dares you to have liked any part of any previous film in this franchise. To even give it the moniker of a film seems misleading because it doesn't really have any of the central necessities that you need in order to tell a good filmic story. The plot is tedious and simple, with the writers trying to distract you from how just dull the central narrative is by injecting as many characters as possible into the frame, to the point that it is just hysterical the amount of characters that they've thrown into the exact same situations that in the original maybe involved 2 or 3 characters at a time, now involves 8 or 9. There is a part in this movie where all of our main characters are trying to hide from one of the dinosaurs, and they're hiding behind the car like Sam Neill and the kids were in the original T-Rex sequence, but that scene worked because there was real stakes and there were only 3 people. Here you have 9 people trying to hide behind a car. They almost wrap around the entire vehicle. That's the type of movie this is. It is so desperate to cling to the signifiers and the objects and the things that you associate with Jurassic Park that it doesn't have any care or it doesn't have any semblance of actually creating anything organic in this chapter. And I will say, I went to this movie with some friends, and I think that's the way to see this. If you see this alone, it's just self-masochism. This is an incredibly lazy story. Again, I put it in quotations because it really isn't a story. A story has 3-act story structure. It has character arcs. It has rising action, falling action, denouement. It's like they're presenting air and then acting as if they accomplished anything. Like you didn't bring anything to the table. You're not even at the table. The filmmakers, I feel, have this internal ethos is that they've already convinced themselves that they can't make as good a movie as Jurassic Park. That's the sentiment I get through this movie. And so they're not even gonna try. And I think there's a lot of effort in trying because listen, if you have a movie that tries to do something interesting, if you have a movie that tries to do something new and it doesn't work out, sure, maybe it's not a great film, but that ambition is noteworthy. It's something that I think the Jurassic Park sequels did have, because I think Lost World Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 3 did bring something new. There was at least something that the original didn't do that I appreciated, even if it didn't work the whole time or didn't work at the same level. But here, it's just a monotonous, repetitive, redundant, shrill, annoying dirge of a film. And it has none of the wonder, none of the magic. It's like a twisted nightmare version of what a Spielberg movie could be. But going back to the story, it's incredibly lazy. It opens with like a 5-minute newsreel, which is the blandest and clearest way to tell your audience, we're not good at telling a story, so we're just going to present all of the information that you need to know cut into a news package. It's just, from the get-go, they're telling you that we don't know how to tell a convincing and enthralling narrative. The minute I knew what this movie was going to be is when Sam Neill and Laura Dern reunite, and the way they introduce these characters back to each other is just so awkward, down to the fact that they introduce each other by saying their full names.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
Like, Jurassic Park 3 establishes that they're family friends. Her son called him the dinosaur man. They know who he is. So the fact that they would introduce each other, like, I literally joke to my friend sitting next to me. It's like, you remember when all the times I reunite after we go to college and we come home and I say, hey, how you doing? First name, last name. It's like these characters don't feel human. They don't feel real. And the humanity always was the center of Jurassic Park. The best scenes in Jurassic Park are the ones without dinosaurs. I don't understand how you have some of the coolest movie monsters. Why are they in the background of the background? Why is it that we spend more of a time and more of the tension of the story is centered around these giant bugs than dinosaurs? It's like, did you even want to make a Jurassic Park movie? This movie's final dinosaur battle feels so haphazardly done, as if the movie forgot to include dinosaurs. So they were like, oh, let's just have 3 of them tussle. It has nothing to do with the plot because, again, it's about locusts. 75% of this movie is exposition. I mean, going into the 2-hour mark. Like, take Jeff Goldblum. Whenever he's giving his internal beliefs, he's just lecturing to the audience. They have him in a like college type lecture, which doesn't make sense because he's not out of college. He's at some like facility that is, I think, supposed to be some like Apple, Amazon, like big tech company, because Campbell Scott, who, oh my God, one of the worst performances I've seen in a long time, maybe since like Ben Platt and Dear Evan Hansen. I don't know what he was doing. And the premise for this movie is so captivating. It's like lightning in a bottle. It's dinosaurs amok in our real world. How do you not only make that not interesting, but you don't even make it the focus of the movie? Like, Trevorrow has said that he thought that he needed 2 movies to earn this one. Earn what? This is the exact same movie that they've been making since The Lost World Jurassic Park. I don't understand why you have the potential to do Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs, but you don't do it. And when you do it sparingly. There should be scenes like with dinosaurs running in Times Square. It's a cliche pastiche. Every single expected redundant plot thread from every movie ever made is blended together. What's left is something that feels like the fast food of cinema, but at least with fast food, it's fast. This is a 2.5-hour movie. It is 20 minutes longer than the previous longest Jurassic Park movie, and you feel it. The final moral of the film and this whole trilogy seems to be that we should coexist. And I think the problem with that is that coexisting with something means accepting it. You're allowing it to live beside you. And that is negating the direct themes of the original movie, where it's always been about rejecting this philosophy, rejecting these billionaires allowing to play God. And so this idea that the movie should end with coexistence, again, this doesn't feel like a Jurassic Park movie. This feels like something that was engineered so that you go to Universal, to Jurassic Park. I mean, I've always thought it's stupid and like really ridiculous that there is a real Jurassic World that you can go to in Orlando or Hollywood. It's like, do you not understand the movie that was made? I mean, the only thing that gets you through this is that all the actors that they've assembled, though way too many of them are on screen. I mean, my God, it's like, you think about Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, that balances all these characters so succinctly and beautifully. And then you look at this movie, and I think the real problem is that you just don't care about them. I mean, I dared my friends to even name who Bryce Dallas Howard's character was, and they didn't even remember that her name was Claire, let alone that her name was Claire Deering. And again, it's no fault of hers. She's an incredibly talented person, incredibly talented director. And so these people are talented. You have Academy Award-winning Laura Dern here. I mean, isn't this one of her first movies after her win in Marriage Story? Like, these are talented people, and their charisma is the only thing that gets you through it. The only other thing I enjoyed is that having Maltese heritage, I'm half Maltese myself, it was fun to see it in a big blockbuster movie. I mean, there wasn't much to it, and what was in the sequence was really stupid, but it was fun to see Malta. What do you want from me? It's just a synthetic product that's unaware it's become exactly what the first film warned of. It's the antithesis to what Spielberg was saying with that movie. That movie works because it has a point. It's not just about dinosaurs. What was originally a dissection of capitalist greed and the hubris of unchecked power has become just that, in this financially motivated and cold-hearted excuse for merchandise and theme park opportunities that just flies directly in the face of everything that both a Jurassic Park, a Spielberg, and just a movie should be. I mean, down to the logo, the trailers, and in the movie, you never see the words Jurassic World Dominion. You only see the logo of the dinosaur, because that's all this movie is. This movie is a brand. This movie is selling a product. It's not telling a story. This movie doesn't have characters, it has action figures. This movie doesn't have action sequences, it has trial runs for stunt shows. This movie isn't a movie, it's a commercial. It's a trailer, and we supported them. We made these movies incredibly successful. It is the epitome of the callous modern blockbuster that we continue to mindlessly support. So to be honest, Jurassic World Dominion is the finale that we all deserve. So please do not see this movie. Please save yourself the 2.5 hours. Go do something. Go for a bike ride with some friends. Go to dinner with your family. Shut your bedroom door on your foot for 2.5 hours. Just do anything. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to not miss any new videos from Spoilers Ahead with Anthony Post. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you at the movies.